Good afternoon, Soul Family. It is noon o'clock here in Canyon Lake. I've been up really for quite a long time. People would be quite shocked. They're probably like, oh, she's just crawling out of bed. No, look at everybody's out there playing on the lake today. It's a really nice day. It's as hot as I would like it ever to be today. Actually, you know what? It's probably hotter than I would normally like it to be. My landlord said, I think it's probably going to be like 90. And I thought, you know, it's been so damn hot here that 90 feels cool. I've been up very, very early, though. I was outside painting my little vintage wooden chase lounge, and Lily's been displaced. Right now she's on her, you know, the little cheapy one. And when I went and put her on it, she's like, are you kidding me? Seriously? I've been sitting on cushions for months, and now you're going to put me on this cheap plastic thing? Because once you get quality, you don't want to go back. You know? So I put all the cushions on top of it, and she's like, all right, fine, but hurry up with the chair already, will you? So today, why do you not wake up? Wake up. My computer is just, I've been sitting here. I have to sit here and like knock on it. Everything I own is like refurbished. It's time for something new. Hello? Why is this not waking up? It's literally not waking up. I wonder if I need to shut it off and restart it. Yep, I'm going to start it up again. Okay, here's what you're going to choose from. Because I'm not wearing, because I've been painting all morning, I don't have any of my jewelry on, so I just want to do it quickly here and get going. So we've got the pile, there's all the crystals. This is my heart side. All the light colored stones go to the heart side, and the brighter kind of mixed colored stones go to the right side. And then we have Liger's collar with the volcanic, what is this? This is rutilated agate or variegated agate with volcano, what the hell is that called? You know what I mean? Volcanic rock. Anyway, with the little fishy with the crystal eye. And then we've got, again, rutilated agate with the Brighton butterfly. So there they are. So this is water because this is the fish. This will be, I say this is earth because the earth, we're all a mix of so many different people, right? So many different ideas, so many different people, so many different ways of looking at things. That's earth. This will be air because it's light and airy. No, that will be, yeah. And this will be fire because it's right next to my twin. So fire signs, water signs, earth signs, air signs, okay? So I don't know if you guys, whoever's on my private page, you probably saw my post yesterday of that super cute camper that I found. It's a come on. I feel like I'm a little cranky today. Oh, there we go. I've got it too. Got to raise it up. Okay. I'm a little bit, and I'm not cranky. I think I'm just hungry. And I don't have any food in the refrigerator. And I've been painting all morning, and I've been kind of in my head thinking and trying to paint. I'm wearing all black. I always seem to wear black. I don't know, you know? So here I am in black, trying to paint white furniture, right? And I haven't gotten a drop on me, but I went to reach for something and I got it all over the back, and I like, oh, my favorite little top. I've had this little top that I'm wearing since I was first in Sturgeon Bay. I bought it, God, it's been 7 years ago, and I love it. I love it, I love it. I wear it all the time. I'm sure people are like, God, do you have anything else to wear? If I knew anybody that knew how to sew, I would give them this and a bunch of little lace material and say, please just make me one in every color because it's my favorite. I wear it all the time. I hike in it. I dress up in it. Right now I'm wearing board shorts and it, right? This is what I wore, I think, when I was up in Santa Cruz. Anyway, what did I want to tell you? My vintage camper that I found, you know, it just popped up on Facebook. It's like it came to me, you know? You know how Spirit just brings you things. And I think that was the catalyst for me to speak again to my friend Fern on Instagram, and I did. And we've been talking about, you know, he's looking for land and wants to build a little tiny home. But I'm just like, God, I was so in love with it. And it's kind of fun to talk to somebody else who sees potential in things that you do, you know? Because other people will be like, wow, really? I mean, I couldn't really talk to anybody about, nobody else actually even thought it was cool. My friend Kimmy would. Her guy made a little house out of their trailer. And that's what I was thinking this morning. I contacted the fellow, and so it's got a brand new $600 air conditioner that works fantastic inside. It's got appliances that work fantastic. It's as clean as a whistle. Like, so clean. It's ridiculous. It's so cute. It's so cute. I mean, I would rip out the flooring and paint it inside, but other than that, I would live in that. It's so adorable. And that's what they did. They literally started with that, and then they built on to that. And I thought, you know what? If somebody had some property, I can't get it out of my head. And it's so funny because I like what I like, you know? And it's because it's different. It's unique. Yes, it's older. It hasn't been driven in 10 years. It was his stepfather's. Like, this is what, I'll tell you what he said. It's ridiculous. The engine hasn't been running. So right now you would have to, I mean, I have no idea about motors, right? And I didn't even want to post it on my page at first because I thought, oh, the guy's going to see it and know that I'm in love with it. And because he said he would take $850 or the best offer. I could probably get it for $500. And I want it. But I don't have anywhere to put it. I wish somebody had property, you know, and I would pay to live on their property, and I could have it like a little home. I would put a tarp out the side, you know, like a little what is it, an awning, and set up a little patio. Like I am 100% serious. I've gone smaller and smaller. I mean, this is a bigger place, right? This studio, but I gotta tell you, I never sit on this furniture. I never sit at that table. I never sit at this table. I would put this inside. The only one that sits at this is Liger. I like this screen. I would use, I mean, you know what I mean? Half of the stuff is, more than half of it, I never even use. It just takes up space. So I could seriously, because I thought about that. What would you do, Sherry? I'm like, I don't freaking, oh, sorry, we're going the wrong way. I could live in it. And maybe not forever, but I would love to get it. And I really would. It's a 1970 16-foot Ford motorhome, and he says, yes, it's available. The engine doesn't run. It will need to be towed or put on a trailer. I'm not sure what the engine needs. It was he said, I'm not sure what the engine needs. It was my stepfather's. He used it about 10 years ago, and it's been sitting ever since. He was going to fix it, but he got sick and he passed away and never told me what it needed. It's currently on a non-op with the DMV. No water damage or chassis rust. All the appliances work and has a new $600 air conditioner and a new water heater. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Come and see it. And I thought, I want it so bad. I do. And my landlord goes, oh, God, it'll be nothing but trouble. You know, you won't be able to find parts for it. You break it down. And I thought, you know what? I'm vintage. I like unique. I like eclectic. I had an older, my little convertible. I love that convertible. It was in mint condition. I find things that other people don't find, and they don't see the value in it, and I do. My convertible was adorable. I loved it to the day I sold it. If I could have afforded to put a new roof on it, I would have dialed it in probably, you know, but I had another car and I didn't need two cars. So I'm sitting here racking my brain, and I'm just like, God, I wish I knew somebody in an area that I like that had some property, and I would freaking tow it up there and use it as a home until I had the money to put a new engine in it. And then it would be like a little travel mobile. I'm telling you. Spirit brought it to me for a reason, you know? Anyway, I'm going to go up to see my friend Randall and go see Fern, meet him for the first time, go camping or something. Not camping, go hiking, because I'm tired of being an island. I told him this morning, I'm sorry that I disappeared out of your life, but I've been, you know, pretty much an island for the last 4.5 years since my twin disappeared, and it's very hard for me to let people in, but I push people away, and I want friends, and so I need to stop. Thank you for, you know, I apologize for just disappearing and then popping back up. It's not cool, and he's got a really cool energy, really nice. You know, it's nice to have nice friends. I don't mind having nice friends. So today what we're going to do, I'm just sad about that trailer because that little motorhome, because I really want it. I really do. And my landlord's selling this place. I mean, I got to go. You guys, there was the tiniest dragonfly on the top of that palm frond. Right at the very top. I wonder if you could see it if I go out there. It is the smallest dragonfly. It's different. See, I like different. It's super cute. Right on the top of, when it flies, it's orange. It's so cute. I know you probably can't see it and you're like, who cares? I care. Okay, it's right on the bend of, right there is where it's at. I wonder if I turn it again, if I move it to the sky, then you can maybe see him. Focus in. It's the smallest little dragonfly. So hold on to your dreams, is what the dragonfly says, you know? It doesn't matter if nobody else agrees with you or likes it. I mean, look I would hang my wind chimes along the outside of it. I really want it. I could put like an awning out, I'm telling you. And then, I mean, I spend more time out here, right, than I do inside, which is what you could do. You put a tarp out and then you set up a little garden and you got a cute little area. Hi, Lily. Want lovies? Okay. This is gonna be super cute when it's done with the turquoise cushions on it. This is old. They're like, what, you know, what are you gonna, you know, my landlord's like, well, and I said, no, seriously, I really like it. My mom always got this kind of old wooden, simple furniture, right, and painted it. It's my favorite. And when I put the turquoise cushions on it, it's gonna be beautiful. I like repurposed things. I'm looking at that trunk right there. I love that trunk. You know, you could storage. I just keep thinking about things, you know, smart. You know, putting in that motorhome, I would rip out the. I don't even know if I would at first, because I started looking at it and I thought maybe I'd rip out the seats and put I didn't put it on here. I put it on. I wish I could go to the conversations. I thought I would rip out the seats and put one of my tables in there, and then I thought, no, you know, I actually really like it's actually, you know what color the seats are? Sage green, like the outside of the cab, and purple. It's like, are you kidding me? It's even my colors. I don't know, there's something happening with that. It's like, I really, really want it. I'm gonna show you guys. I mean, I wonder if I could find I'm gonna show it to you. Hold on. Now that I don't know if you guys care, but maybe somebody I know knows something, right? That, I don't know, maybe somebody I know has property and I could rent their property. I'm gonna show it to you. I don't know. I know I want to be up in the trees, but check it out. I'm gonna make you look at it anyway. You guys can you know, I timestamp everything. But this is what it looks like. And you know, you look at it and the sides are totally straight. There's not even a dent. Not even a freaking dent in it. Look at that refrigerator. I mean, I don't know how efficient that refrigerator is, right? It might not be, but I'm just showing you that you can see how clean everything is. Like, it's super clean. They started to probably fix it up because there's the purple curtains. The linoleum is, the wallpaper's disgusting. I would tile that probably and put a granite top in and paint the cabinets white, right? But, and it's got one of those potty and shower things in there. And I looked at these seats and I looked at these and I thought, oh, interesting. The seats are purple and sage green. I just thought that was just really odd, you know, being that the spiritual colors. All of this would be painted white, so it would be bright. There's lots of drawers inside of it. It's got a queen-size bed at the front over the cab. This obviously turns into a bed, right? To me, I mean, look at the color of it. This isn't even the right color. Actually, yeah, it is. There it is. It just looks different in my phone. Sage green, and it's and the aluminum, there's not even a ding in it. You polish that and it looks so amazing, and it kind of slopes up at the top, which he didn't get a picture of it. I don't know. My landlord goes, well, I don't want an eyesore, you know, sitting here. At first, I think I could have got it here. I might be able to park it outside in front, but I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to give up on it, you know? It's so stupid. But then the red dragonfly showed up and said, hold on to your dreams, right? Maybe it's not stupid. Okay. Correct for neutrality on all levels. We're going to do the Oracle of Shadows and Light and the Shapeshifters, just because. And then we're going to use the Crystal Oracle for clarifiers. I haven't worked today. I just took the morning off and was working on that patio thing, and I've just been daydreaming, you know. And I was just thinking, where would I put Merlin's tank? Merlin's tank would fit in there somewhere. It would be, actually, it would be really cool. You know what Merlin's tank would be used as? Kind of like a room divider. Have you ever seen fish tanks in people's walls in the bedroom? Yeah. He would definitely go with me. Right for neutrality. I feel like I want to go up to Northern California. All I would need is to be hooked up to electricity and water. And I'd buy a little solar panel. Maybe you could buy a solar panel and I wouldn't have to hook up to their electricity. Right? Buy a couple solar panels. People do that all the time. Gosh, why did I not have a boyfriend right now that would do this with me? All right, here we go. So we're starting with fire signs. Mermaid in a koi pond. Interesting. Okay. Oh wait, is that fire signs? Yeah. Okay. Let me unplug you. Mermaid in a koi pond. Let me just. There we go. Okay. And there you see her. Boy, look at her holding on to her fish, like, to save her life. They're her pets. They're like my pets. They're like my fish. I'm not leaving my fish either. Rediscover your individuality. Become the dragon. That's why I want that camper. God. And you know what? We don't know. I think I'm going to go with my friend Scott to go look at it. He said he'd go with me. We don't know that the engine is blown. He just said it needed a little bit of work, but he didn't know what, and he hasn't looked at it. I mean, what if it, it doesn't need a lot? God. Okay. So basically this mermaid, she is kind of in a place where I'm in. She's kind of in that in-between place. She's in a place, she's gone there. She's kind of hiding out in that koi pond where she can be safe. And she's grown safe. And she's gotten very comfortable with those fish, hanging out with them, right? And even though she's got a lot of food and she's got friends and she's comfortable in that safe little pond, it's not the real world, really, for her. And she's kind of forgotten about her quest for life. Oh my God, this is going to be so me, isn't it? She kind of lost herself. So Spirit wants her to do what they've been telling me to do. Strip away that camouflage. I never realized I was camouflaging myself, And she's kind of been hidden because she's felt hunted. And I have felt that way as well. And Spirit's asking us all to move on because it's gotten stagnant. I was talking about that today. My landlord painted this beautiful fountain out front. It's been empty and old and yucky looking since I've lived here for the last 2 years. And he painted it the same color paint as that I'm painting that creamy white that I'm painting my chair out there. And it looks beautiful. And I said, what are you going to do? Where is it pumped, like plumbed? And he says, I don't know if it is. And he says, I said, you could put, and he says, what, just pour water in it? And I was thinking, no, you could, use it as a planter at the bottom, right? It would be beautiful. And he says, I could just pour water in it. I said, yeah, but then the water just gets stagnant, and it just sits there. It has to be flowing. It has to be moving, which is the same situation for this little mermaid and me in this little pond. It's kind of gotten stagnant. Her thoughts and dreams have just kind of not gone anywhere. They've just kind of stayed there. And it might be that you're in a place where you feel safe, but emotionally, the situation or the relationship is safe, but it's definitely not what your heart's calling for. It's not what your soul is like. I'm safe here with my landlord, right? He's a great guy. He's a nice guy. Wants me to go grocery shopping with me, talks to me. I feel bad when I go to move, he'll probably be very lonely, but that's kind of what it is. We're good. We're friends, but it's not heart. It's not love for me, right? And that's kind of like her. She's hanging out with these fish, and they're not really her kind. They're not what she wants. And she's realizing that it's time to go. And yeah, it gets kind of scary when you think about, well, how are you going to do it? It's not going to be what you had. You're not going to have all the amenities that you've had, and you might be uncomfortable moving out into something different. And that makes you kind of scary. Feeling a little bit definitely sad about, the things that you're familiar with. And like I said, my landlord, and what about her friends in that pond? But it's about striking out on a quest again and feeling alive and taking chances that bring excitement into your life and growth into your life. She'll transform. into her dragon energy. I'm a dragon? God, this is so for me. I'm an Aries dragon. The koi, the Japanese, they call them dragons in the making, like they're not quite finished yet, right? And they're brave. They're kind of like a salmon. And I kept getting that message from Spirit. You know where you're going and you're going to get there. And they show the vision of a salmon jumping. I remember watching that a lot growing up in Canada, the salmon jumping upriver. They even jump up waterfalls, up rocks. It's a trip to watch them. They're so determined. And that's what the koi do as well. It's a really big test for them to get there. And when they get there, they have that feeling of accomplishment, of course. And so the mermaid as well is being called to do this. To be courageous and fearsome and break free from that little area that she's been feeling safe in, but kind of isolated away. We always have our memories. Like when I went to Wisconsin, I was there for a year and it felt so comfortable, and then I had to move to Sedona, and that was scary, and then it got really comfortable there, and then I had to come back here, and I've never really been happy here in California. This is the nicest place and most comfortable place I've been. The only happy part about being here was meeting my twin soul again, and seeing my grandson and my daughter. But other than that, it's really, I've always known I wanted to go. So right now, your message is that you might have taken on other people's ways of being, the way they talk, the way they dress, their mannerisms, kind of fitting into the area that you've been hanging out in without maybe even knowing it. Or maybe you've become like that water, right? You're just kind of like staying in that kind of little shallow pond, shallow area. And you feel sluggish, you feel tired. I don't have the energy here like I did when I was in Sedona or when I was in Wisconsin. When I was closest to nature, I was always on the go, And you get tired, and your body gets kind of, my body went to hell sitting here, it did. And that's kind of what happens. It's because you're not inspired. You're not moving. It's too safe. It's like you've grown too big. You're a big fish in that little pond, and you got to get out of there. You got to grow. You got to go after your dreams. And maybe you've listened to other people that told you, well, you're in a really good place, and other people would kill to be there, and it's like a resort, and you're safe, and your landlord loves you, and if you're comfortable, and you can work, but you're not happy. You're bored, and you're lonely, and you're craving for adventure. You just want to go. You have to go, Spirit says. And even the discomfort, Spirit's been saying to us lately, maybe it'll be important to downsize and live more minimalistic. Is that it? Minimalist? Kind of like a minimalist lifestyle. I wouldn't even have to be hooked up to, what did he say? I mean, I know this, I'm making this about me, but I'm just giving you an idea. What did he say? I mean, a new water heater, new air conditioner. You would need to be either hooked up to solar, which is amazing. My landlord got solar here, and I ran my air conditioner for 3 months, 24/7. 3 months. And he's very, frugal, but 24/7 I had that air conditioner running and my fans running. They never stopped once. And he said, wow, the bill, and this house is 5 stories. This house is huge. And he's like, wow, the bill was a little higher this month. And I said, really? What was it? $40. I'm like, oh my God. He goes, it's normally 4 or 6. I'm like, oh my God. So solar, right? Go simple. Whatever. Right now, Spirit says, you've gotten to a place where you've forgotten who you really are. The adventurer that you are, the person that you are. You've outgrown that safe place. It's time to move on. You've known it for a while. Spirit's been telling you. Move forward. Your circumstances aren't giving you what you want. You've got to bring fresh energy in. You've got to bring fresh water in, which is emotion. New friends. Break free. Go after the next challenge, whatever it is. We have more inside of us than we realize. We have that courageousness inside of us. Spirit wants us to take a journey. Find a place. It's funny, they want us to journey upstream, like the salmon. And I'm just thinking where I am. I'm going up north to Boulder Creek, Bonnie Doon, Felton. I love Felton, the Henry Cowell State Park. I couldn't believe it when my friend Fern told me that he was he mentioned Felton, and I just said, oh my God, it's the most beautiful place. And to jump upstream and journey somewhere that calls to your soul. Brackish water, I always said that, right? My dragonfish, Merlin, maybe that's me. I always talk about it being my twin. I know it's both of us since we're both spiritually connected, but he lives in brackish water, where the ocean meets the sea, which is a place like that. And bringing fresh water in is bringing fresh emotion, for new friends, new energy. It's like anywhere you are. You have to, even if you're in the same place, you want to move things around, move your furniture around. You know, you may not be moving, but Spirit is wanting you to. Maybe they do. Spirit is wanting you to move forward. They want you to take another challenge. You may not have to physically move, but they want you to move forward to something else. But this really does talk a lot about movement. A place where you're going to prosper, where you're going to grow, and where you're going to really be the dragon, the true dragon that you are. And you're going to be successful. And you know what? You will be able to teach others. You'll be a mentor to other people. Because you're walking your walk, you're talking your talk, you're living your words. You're not just sitting there. You know, I was thinking about, when I've been looking at all of these, I'm going to shuffle for the next, that's that for that message, I'm going to shuffle. I was thinking about, I was watching all of these YouTube videos on camper redos and, you know, old school bus redo homes and tiny homes and, you know, off-grid stuff. And one of the ladies, they bought a motorhome. And it was like a travel trailer. I don't even think you could drive it. It was a travel trailer. And it had a pop outside. And they pretty much, they said it had really good bones, you know, basically kind of like what I said. And she said, they ripped out the cabinets, they ripped out the built-in chairs and tables and put their own couch in there. And she said it's not a very big space, painted it all white, which makes it really bright and airy, right? It's enough living space, and then they built like a little yard outside, which is where they spend most of their time. And she says in a small space, what's important, and it's kind of like what I say, you got to move things around. But when something that bit small, you can't. She goes, what I do is my cushions. She goes, I buy a bunch of different color covers, and I just every couple months I just alternate the cushions, trade the cushions, and it gives it a different look. You could do that with curtains, with like blanket throws, right? Oh, Molybdenite. So this is pyrite, isn't it? No, maybe it's not. This is part of a star, I think. Molybdenite. I think it's part of an, what's it called? I was going to say an asteroid. It looks like pyrite though. So Molybdenite. Why do we want to look at Molybdenite? Probably because I feel like a shooting star that's gotten stagnant. And it is a message from the stars. Pyrite, I feel, is the same kind of energy. And what it's telling you is that you might be feeling, if you have been feeling like you've failed in some aspect or you've made a wrong decision in some way, that's not the truth. It's an illusion. You really don't need to fix any part of your life other than maybe the way you look at yourself. You've got maybe a skewed perception of things. You've not been very kind to yourself. I've not been kind to myself. I know that. We speak badly about ourselves. We're mean to ourselves, and it's not cool. We really should be a lot kinder to ourselves, you know? I mean, why be mean to your body? Your body works with you. Talk to your body nicely and let it work with you. That's what I'm doing. I'm working with my body. My body's my friend, right? So you need to know that your body is your friend. And you have to be your own friend. You have to love you, all of you, first, before you can ever hope to be help for anyone else. So you have to stop beating yourself up and recognize that you're worthy. You're worthy of everything. You're worthy of happiness. You're worthy of adventure. You're worthy of being loved. You're worthy of respect. You're worthy of all of it. We need to accept ourselves as we are right at this moment. Right at this moment. And when we do that, it frees us. Things begin to transform, and it gives us more a feeling of being a part of things, you know? And besides, Spirit made us all. And do you think our Father looks down at any of us and says that he made a mistake creating that particular person the way that that particular person is? I know that people think, okay, why would you? That's just weird. I mean, she would live in that. Like, she would want to go. I would live in that while I got, for a while, and then maybe moved into a little cabin, and then I would fix that up and have it for a traveling thing. Yes. Did I look at anything newer? Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't have the charm to me. It's not charming to me. It's not unique. It's like the people I fall in love with. I don't fall in love with somebody because of the way they look. I am drawn to what I like. There is something unique, but it's the energy. It's the energy. And I like different. We're all different. I don't want cookie cutter homes. I don't want a brand new trailer that pops out, looks like everybody else. I want something unique and different. I've always been that way. And so our Father likes that about us. He doesn't want us all to be the same. None of us are the same. We're all very different. No matter what religion, color, race, species, height, weight, we're all unique, and we all have something to bring to the table that's amazing. And all of us experience life in a different way. And because of that, we're interesting. Like the things that, for me to travel the way I have and gone to the places I have, it's interesting to listen to the stories, right? And then you meet different people, and they have different stories. And it broadens your perspective. Instead of somebody who stays in the same little place, grew up in the same town, never left, never did anything, never changed, 9-to-5 job, got married, 2.5 kids, that's boring to me. Maybe it's not to you, and that's what makes us all so cool, that we're all unique. So Spirit's basically saying, you're cool the way you are, period. At 31 minutes and 31 seconds, that's interesting. So let's look at 3131. 3 is always Ascended Masters. 1 is always about keeping your thoughts positive. So 31, the Ascended Masters want you to look past all the earthly illusions and see the divine perfection within you, within others, and within this current situation. And as you see that it's actually perfect as it is right now, just as what this message just told us, that starts manifesting a different energy into your relationships, into your career, into your health, into all areas of your life. Because you're accepting things as they are right now, in this moment. You're at peace. You're happy. And that energy transcends. It's a beautiful energy. All right. So now we're at, how funny, 3223. Okay, you guys, I've got to do this because it's just too cool. 32, the Ascended Master Jesus reminds you to apply his affirmation about the power of faith. With faith, all things are possible to your own life right now. It's right. With all faith, all things are possible. Okay, 3 and 2 is 5. We know that means a significant change is occurring in your life right now. It's always for the better. A good idea to call upon help. Call upon Spirit for help with any of these changes. And then 23. You're working closely with one or more Ascended Masters. Clearly, Jesus just spoke up. I work with Metatron and Michael every single day. Every single day, because I do Reiki on, I was going to say on Daddy. Lily came up on my bed last night, and again, she walked back and forth in front of the bed for like 10 minutes. And I looked at her, and I was going over these motorhomes on YouTube, and I kind of looked at her, and I said, what, is it time to do Reiki on Daddy again? And she's like, yep. So I always call in Archangel Michael, because when we ask for the crown to be open, first we call Metatron to come in and clear and balance everyone's chakras, mine, my twins, and Lily's, because I use all of us. And then Michael stands there and protects us while the crown is open, because you don't want your crown to be open and exposed to any other entities or energy. So that's 2 Ascended Masters I work with every single day. Every single day. So who works with you? Who are you thinking of that works with you? Archangel Ariel has been showing up quite a bit because she's the angel of finances and also the angel of animals. There's a dragonfly outside flying around. I've seen a lot of dragonflies today, which is just a reminder to hold on to your dreams. Okay, we're going to go to the Oracle of Shadows and Light for fire signs. Water signs. Whoa, okay. So 2 just popped up. And I want to show you, this is interesting because of the way they popped up. So, Marie Masquerade and Autumn is my last chance. So, this is, somebody's putting on a false front. Oops, sorry. There's many different messages. And the fact that it came upside down means, I feel as though this is going away, right? It's not as strong as it was, it's changing. So, This is what should be focused on first. Autumn is my last chance. Please don't lose hope. Okay, so here you see this one in the forest, and now it's definitely winter, right? It's like a winter, so it's probably like the winter of your life, which would be like the dark night of the soul. And you don't have much. All this one is holding is an apple, and right now, I don't even have an apple in my refrigerator. Gotta tell you. I need to go get apples. That's a reminder again. The number 6 is telling you, don't be so focused on material, the material world in itself. Spirit will provide for you. Even money. Don't worry about money. Any material items or money. It lowers our energetic vibration. We want to send out faith, hope, and positivity. Like, what did I say yesterday on my, I would rather be annoyingly positive and optimistic than destructively negative and hateful. Right? So don't focus so much on that. Spirit can help us if we have an issue with our energy being low and our thought process being negative. So this one, she hasn't had her hair washed. Her clothes are dirty. She's probably living in a camper. She might be living in a tent. Who knows? Maybe she doesn't have running water. She's got to go somewhere else to have a shower. She's not got a lot going on right now. But she's got that one apple. And remember I said, water signs got this before. When it was when we had that little dragon's egg. And the message was, you have, and I heard in my head, all I have is this one thing. And like her, in that hand, all you have is that one thing, that one egg. But from that one egg, everything is born. Just like that apple. From that one apple, she's holding on to it. She's not eating it because she knows once she eats it, it's going to be gone. It's like saving your best outfit and never wearing it because it's so cool. I used to do that all the time, and I don't do it anymore. I don't do it anymore. I wear my beautiful perfume all the time. I wear my beautiful perfumed lotion that was like $75 a bottle, but I love it. Don't hold on to what you have and save it for a special occasion. This one is holding on thinking, oh, once I eat this apple, I won't have anything. This is all I have. But she can take a bite of that apple. She can cut into that apple and get the seeds out of that apple and plant those seeds. And then she could grow trees from those seeds. So yes, it would take her a while, right? Of course. And you're saying this, but it's just, this is the idea. You have an idea. You have a gift. You have something. This might be your heart you're holding on to, your love. You're afraid to open it up and give it away because it's all you have. Maybe it's a part of you. Whatever it is, you're holding on to something, and clearly you're fading fast. You're aging, things are getting run down, you're not going forward. It's cold now, right? You're buttoning up against the cold, could be cold energy, not allowing, and your cold emotions. You know, you're keeping yourself safe by keeping yourself tight and closed up, but you're lonely. And those emotions are making you cold. Those apples, that apple, those seeds could grow into trees that could grow into giant trees that could grow into a grove that will last long after she's gone. There's some kind of hope that you're holding on to, but it's fading. You're saving something for a rainy day. What about doing what I'm talking about? Traveling and going and living in a little place like that, somewhere very beautiful, but you just don't do it and you sit there and you wish, I keep thinking of that song, I wish somebody would have told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. I wish I'd gotten the courage up to ask her out. I wish I'd put that bottle back on the shelf. I wish I hadn't have drank all that. I wish I had traveled there and done this. I wish I had, quit that stupid job that I hated so bad and went to a place and did what I loved to do and made enough just to live off the land and be happy and free. Well, you think about these things, and then when you get too old to do it, you look back and you wish you had. And right now, maybe for you, looking at whatever this is, let's take this girl, for instance. Eventually, she's going to have to eat that apple. She's going to be so cold and so wet and so thin and so hungry, she's going to have to bite into it, and then it'll be gone. So this is kind of about, I'm waiting for someone to come and save me. I think about that song by No Doubt, If I Could Escape and Make a World. What is that? Think about the lyrics to that. Sweet Escape, which is kind of like what I'm talking about. Sweet Escape, the lyrics. She says, come on. I'm thinking about the refrigerator. If I could escape, I would. I must apologize for acting stank and treating you this way because I've been acting like sour milk all over the floor. It's your fault. You didn't shut the refrigerator. Maybe that's why I've been acting so cold. Well, this person, you've been holding your emotions and you've not been expressing yourself. You've not been letting love in. You've been acting cold. And you're saying, if I could escape and recreate a place that's my own, I would. Well, do it. Wouldn't that be sweet? We could do that. Wouldn't that be sweet? Do it. Instead of clowning around. She says, come help me out. I'm at my lowest, what is it? You melt me down. I'm at my lowest boiling point. Come help me out. I need to get me out of this joint. Come on, let's bounce. I'm counting on you to turn me around. Instead of clowning around, let's look for some common ground. So baby, times get a little crazy. I've been getting a little lazy, waiting on you to come save me. I can see that you're angry with the way that you treat me. Hopefully you don't leave me. I want to take you with me. Well, you've been maybe sitting there waiting for someone to save you. Somebody to make something happen. But nothing's going to happen unless we make it happen. We need to take action. We take one step forward, Spirit takes 15 forward to meet us. So stop relying on other people for the love that you want, that you need, for the comfort, for even your own sustenance. Go out and do something. Use the gifts that you have. You have a gift. Waiting for someone else to come and call you, and no one's going to come and drop into your house and say, hey, you know, people have a life too. They're doing things. If you want to meet people and you want friends and you want to get going. Get out there. You know, you'll meet who you need to meet. You'll run into it. Spirit will make sure it happens. Look what you have. What do you have? What can you do with what you have? You've got it. You've already got it. I could go and I could go anywhere and do my work. All I need is Wi-Fi, right? There's no reason for me to stay here. You just need to love yourself enough and know that right now I have enough courage and I have enough backing and support by Spirit that I don't need to have someone else fill my hole inside of me. I know that that comes from myself. Self-love, self-work, self-promotion, everything is self. And once we commit, just take one bite of that apple and you've taken the bite. Ooh, I keep thinking I should buy that camper. Once I commit to that, right? Then you have to go through with it. Then you'll be free of needing others' approval, of needing rescue from someone else, shelter even from someone else, right? What am I going to do? He wants me to stay here until he sells the house. And then what? Where am I going to go? Right? I got to think of myself. So there's only one true escape, and it comes with self-help. Go ahead, eat the apple. Go ahead and do it. And then Masquerade. Masquerade. We look at this one, and you see she's taken her mask off. Now, not only was that, but she came out upside down. So her ship is ready to sail. This could be somebody that's very beautiful, that gets a lot of attention because of the way she looks. She may come from a very hoity-toity family, high-end family, right? And people want to date her. This could be him or her, right? They want to date her, they want to be her, they want to be around her. But she doesn't know who she can trust because do they want me for who I am, or do they want me for my money, or what I can do for them, or what because I know people. This person needs true friends. This person doesn't need somebody that's going to network off of them. Oh yeah, let's hook up with Sherry because she's got this page and she's got all these other pages and a lot of people listen to her. So if you have her sell your product, she'd be a good hookup. Are you networking with people? You got to think about that. This person doesn't need someone that just wants to network with them. Sorry, I didn't realize it was off. I was looking at her. This person needs a real friend. And if you want to be like her, you like the way this person is, that's cool. Don't copy her, though. Be true to who you are. I always say that even with my readings, I listen to other people and I hear things that people say and I think, oh, I never thought about that. That's kind of cool. And then that's something that I adopt into my speech because it's something that's now been brought to my attention. But I have my own way of doing things. I don't copy how other people read. I don't do spreads, right? I don't. I just do what Spirit tells me to do. Spirit taught me. I'm looking at why. I'm looking at the big white crane, and you probably can't see. It's just landed on the other side of the shore. That's the crane people. They're different. They're unique. They do their own thing. They dance to their own drum. So be who you are and express yourself as you are, even if you do like something about this person. This person, people want to be around. This person gets a lot of attention. And she can have fun. She can fit in, right? She's desired. She's asked to be in places. And it's fine if you want to be her friend, if you truly are her friend. And you're there because of that. Because you're drawn to that energy, right? I'm drawn to energy. Good people, not what they look like, not what they're wearing. So when Marie Masquerade comes, there's so many different messages that come forward. This could be that somebody's going to invite you to be a part of something. They could invite you to go, I don't know, you be involved in something, and it's like, ooh, very tempting. It's intriguing. To me, the word is intriguing. If something is intriguing, it piques my interest, right? The temptation is really, really strong, especially because when they come to you and they ask you this, you know, I got this message for water signs yesterday and I didn't say it because it wasn't in the cards. And I thought, well, you know, if it's meant to come out for water signs, I'll say it. I did get this message. You are about to be asked to do something. It may be asked out on a date. It may be asked to be in a relationship. It might be a job. Somebody is going to ask you to do something. And you're going to be tempted. It's going to be very intriguing to you, but it's not in your highest good. It's actually very dangerous for you to align yourself with this. The price that you are going to have to pay may not be what you're willing to pay because it's going to be quite high. And you got to think about the politics. Politics. It's like somebody invited me. They did. They asked me to sell their product on my page. And I thought, you know what? I don't want to. And I watched. And the company is all, you know, very... all over everybody's page is advertising, pushy. I don't like that. I don't like that. I have something, if you want it here, I can hook you up with somebody who has it, you know, but I don't like pushy. I often forget to tell you guys, you know, I'm available for readings and Reiki healing and Sage Wands. I forget about that because I'm not about that. So I don't like people's pushy salespeople. I don't like them. So I don't want to be that, right? So you got to think about, somebody may ask you to be a part of something and the idea is great. Like they wanted me to sell CBD oil or have it available on my page and I really like it. I think it's a really good idea. It's powerful, helpful. It does so many miracle things. But I don't want to be a part of that company. I don't want to be a part of a company that has all these rules and you got to do this, you got to do that. No. So you got to think about the politics of whatever it is that's going to ask you to be a part of this. And I got this really loud for water signs. I've gotten it for the last week. So this is real emphasis on that. There is a sacrifice that you need to make. And it's not going to be something that you're going to want to do. And it's a tainted offer. It's not actually truthful. They're not actually showing you the truth of the situation. Now, another message is that this one here, this beautiful one that you're looking at, people are talking about this person behind their back. You admire this person. There's things about this person that you think are really cool, but there are other people that are talking shit about them. They, at this time, could actually use a supportive friend. You know, somebody who doesn't judge them for where they've been or what they've been through in their life or how they look at life. Sandy wrote to me this morning, was talking about, you know, how people that she's associated with and knows in the Jewish culture feel it's wrong what she does. The Bible, you know, the Bible says blah blah blah, and you know this is, and I wrote back to her, and I'll tell you what I said. I said, I'm not Jewish and I don't care. I'm a mix of all the things that I've been taught, and I will never again practice a religion. I work with angels. I don't practice binding spells, nor do I deal with the occult or dark energy. What anyone else feels is their prerogative. I know that I work with angels, and I'm guided by our Father. I've never had such a close relationship with our Creator. I never had a personal relationship with my Father, though I went to the Kingdom Hall as a Jehovah's Witness 3 times a week and went out from door to door every week. I attended assemblies several times a year. Sometimes a week long we would sit at these assemblies. For my entire life up until 11 years ago. I'm happy with my path, and I will not worry about what others feel. I don't agree with the rules that the Jewish people try to enforce on the family members who don't agree with them. They're restrictive, and I find them ridiculous. They may not. That's their culture. But Jesus came to uphold the law. He said, I did not come to uphold the law. I came to temper the law with love. Because all of the fastings and the hand washings and the cleansing and the rituals that they had to do, all of these, there were lists and lists and lists of things that they had to do. For what? For what? It's rules. It's just rules. It made things difficult for people. And even in the Jehovah's Witness lifestyle, when I grew up, they've changed things. We used to have 7-day assemblies all day long. Now they have 1.5-day assemblies. We used to go to the meetings 3 times a week. Now they go 1 time a week. They used to be 3-hour meetings, and they knocked them down to 45 minutes because they've realized, my dad had a family of 5 he had to support. He had to work all day long, and then he was an elder in the congregation. He had to come prepare his parts for the meeting and then go out. Do you know how tired we were a lot of the times? Do you know how many times I would fall asleep? My kids would fall asleep, and I would get in trouble. I would sit in the Kingdom Hall, and my dad, and he admitted it years later. God, he's like, I can't even believe it. It was. You would have speakers that would go up there. My dad was an amazing speaker. So was my son. So was my brother. So was I. We were interesting. And I'm not bragging. We just were. I learned from them. And so we would use stories. And I always thought about the reason, because Jesus always used stories, parables, right? And so people found what we had to say interesting. We had the message that we had to bring across, but we would tell a story about it. And I grew up with that, with my Welsh family. That's kind of what everything was about, stories, right? So, but there were so many people that had to give parts, and they were terrified, first of all, because it's nerve-wracking. And they weren't good speakers, and they weren't exciting. They were boring. They were boring. It was so hard to sit there and listen. I never had a relationship. I would fall asleep when I would say my prayers at night. My prayers were like something that I had to do, was forced upon me. My belief system now is not forced upon me. I have a real relationship with my Father. I can't believe that for so long I didn't. I can't believe that for so long I was afraid of him, worried that I was letting him down. People are taught that they go to hell. If you're gay, they go to hell if this happens or if that happens. You're excommunicated from the congregation if you hang out with people that are not Jehovah's Witnesses. I lived my whole life that way. That's wrong. There's too many rules. There are as many opinions as there are people. We can't please them all. We need to follow our own hearts and come from a place of non-judgment and try and do and say what would love do and say. It's a big world. And we're not all going to agree. But we can agree to disagree, right? You can have your opinion. You can do your Jewish celebrations and all of your rituals if you want. But don't think that I'm a lesser person because I don't observe that. It's not my culture. It's not my belief. And even if I was Jewish, I wouldn't do it. I was a Jehovah's Witness and I stopped. I don't agree with it. So, right now, there's gossip around this person. The people don't agree with them. They're not doing what they feel they should do. They're living a lifestyle they think is wrong or scandalous. Maybe there's people that are jealous of this person. I had that my whole life. I didn't have relationships with girls at all, ever, because I grew up with all boys. And then when I finally was allowed to have a friend in school, I was like in almost out of almost out of junior high before I could actually sneak and have friends that weren't Jehovah's Witnesses. And even then I had to be careful because I couldn't let boys get too close to me because they would ask me out and I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. But I couldn't let really anyone get close to me because I wasn't allowed to go to their house for sleepovers. I wasn't allowed to go to the skating rink. So I never cultivated friendships with girls, and they thought that I was after their boys. I wanted their boyfriend. It went on through my whole life, and it was never true. I wasn't even interested in them. I respect people's relationships. I respect everybody's relationships, and I gotta tell you, there's very few people that I'm drawn to that I want in that way. So it could be such as that. Gossip. And a lot of times gossip is founded on things that are untrue. People don't understand you. They don't get you. They think you're weird. They think you're strange because you're different. And then all that takes is somebody to tell some story and, spread it around and everybody buys into that story. So if you are a decent person and you are drawn to this person, be their friend and be a true friend. And if anyone talks shit, stand up for them. Because there's nobody that deserves to be loved, successful, liked, more than anyone else. And if you are the subject of gossip, which I have been my whole life, let it, you know what? Water off a duck's back. What's it going to do? You know, it's not going to kill you. You can't control what other people think. You can't control what they say. All you can do is live your life the best way that you can. And you send out that loving energy. I got to tell you, there were people in my life when as I was growing up that weren't Jehovah's Witnesses that I was drawn to. I loved them. Their energy was amazing. It made me feel comfortable and peaceful and happy and fun and light. My grandmother had that energy. She was a communist, a Soviet socialist. And we were Jehovah's Witnesses. You want to talk about bipolar? She was one of the best people I've ever known. And I strive to live up to her. So when this spirit energy shows up here, this masquerade, this is about using. People want to befriend you, but not because of who you are. You can get them in places, you've got connections, maybe you're really good looking, and hanging out with a really good looking person draws in other good looking people. So look inside at yourself and ask yourself, the friends that you have, are they truly your friends? Are you even hanging out with your friends? Or are you just hanging out with them because you need that job? Or you need to fit in? Or you need to be accepted? Don't keep false friends and don't be a false friend. Be true to who you truthfully are. And then you know why? You draw people to you like you. If you are honestly, truthfully, this is who I am, you're not going to draw people to you that you don't fit with. Because they're naturally not going to be drawn to you. You will draw to you the people that are like you. And so also, go to places where those people are. You'll feel comfortable. Get rid of this get up, right? I believe this is already happening because this came out upside down. So we have a clarifier, even though that's a really long reading. What were we clarifying with? Oh, the crystal oracle. Let me shuffle again one more time. Okay. Oh, I love Labradorite. Look I'll show it to you. I've got it live and in person. I bought this for my twin. I have so many gifts for him that he's never seen. This is Labradorite. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at the striations. Now think about that. Do you look at that and say, that's flawed? Because it's got all those lines and cracks in it? No, it's beautiful. Look how the light shines through it. And I love it because it's macrame. Really simple. I'd like to be able to do this. I knew how to do this when I was a kid. So there's Labradorite right here. And it's got that same light shining through it. See? I'm glad that, look at that. It's just so beautiful. Love that. So Labradorite's message to you. And I even like the name. There's a place in Canada called Labrador. You think about the Labrador Retriever. Best friend. That's why I got it from my best friend, right? Labrador Retriever. So Labradorite, it's telling you that there's a situation in your life, a particular situation. You're going to see this. It's causing you worry, you're concerned about, I don't know what you're concerned about, but it's preventing you from moving forward. And the fact that you're recognizing that is a breakthrough in itself. Kind of like when Maria Masquerade, that card that came out upside down, it's because, you know what, you're already breaking away from that. You are being who you are. You are trying to hang out with people that are like you. So that's a breakthrough. And you're recognizing that it's just fear. It's fear that's stopping you from moving forward. It's actually causing you to see things in a light that's not even real. And once you realize that it's fear that's stopping me from moving forward, you've got nothing holding you back. And then you go. And then it's like the whole world's in front of you. It's like when I had to move from Canada back down to the United States, when my daughter was molested, I sold my house. I didn't get much for it. And I got to tell you guys, you got to sell your properties if you're going to sell them. Got to do it now. Even take a lower price because the market's going down. And I had to do that. I sold my house. I lost a lot of money on it. Packed up my motorhome. Packed up my U-Haul trailer and my kids and came down to California. And I stood on the coast of California in Carlsbad. And you want to talk about terrified. I had no job. I had no idea where I was going to go. I was able to stay at my mom's until I found a place. I put all my money in a money market, right? Held it there. Just all the money and I lived very frugally. But I stood on that cliff and I looked out and I felt so free. I felt so free. And I said, I can be anyone I want to be here. I can do anything I want to do. And I became myself. And that's what Labradorite is telling you. You're going to have that vista in front of you, like, oh my God, the whole world will open up in front of you. And then you're going to start moving forward like freaking a jackrabbit. And you're going to realize all the things that you can achieve and all the goals that you didn't even allow yourself to look at. And you're going to recognize the gifts that you have. You have gifts within you. And once you've let go of the fear of things that are holding you back, you're going to start using the gifts that you have. And you know that energetically, you can speak to people without even being in their presence. You can telepathically communicate with ones that aren't with me. With me. I'm talking about me. Like when I talk to my twin, when I'm doing Reiki, I walk around my house and I think about things and I start talking to him. I'm outside painting and I'm telling him things. I'm like, dude, I would love to do this little camper. Wouldn't that be fun? We could do it together. I mean, I talk to him all the time. He's not here. He's got a life of his own right now. I realize that. But I can still energetically, telepathically communicate. And that energy going out is a loving energy. It's a friendship. So that energy, whatever he's doing and going through in his life, he will feel that energy. You will realize that you can do that. It can influence things in a positive way. When Lily comes to me, I know he needs Reiki. If he needs Reiki, there's something going on. Something that's not okay. And so I just start working with her. And it's interesting with my hands, I notice where I go, where my hands go to. Like the other day it went to his back. The day before it was all around his head, around his crown. Some, negative thoughts. Last night, where was it last night? It was the shoulders, upper shoulders, and the neck. I was working that area. And so you think about the areas of your body, your crown. So if I'm working on his head, he's thinking. He might have had, over analyzing things. I mean, I know what his sign is. There may have been fear, there may have been worry, there may have been anger, there may have been whatever it was. So when the back issue started, well, maybe his back is sore, maybe he's not feeling like standing up for himself or strong, maybe he needs to feel that, or maybe he's been carrying too much weight. He has the shoulders carrying too much weight. You think about that. I can help him without even being near him or even speaking to him in his physical presence. You know that you can do that. And when you do that, and when you connect to spirit energetically in the way that you can, that we all have the ability to do, you start getting messages. You start getting communication back. And you will recognize things that are going on. Okay, wow, Lily, when I started doing the Reiki, my hands started moving towards the shoulders, all around the shoulders. He's carrying a lot of weight right now. He needs to have a little bit of relief on that. If it's around his head, he's, his mind, he's got a monkey mind going crazy, or he's feeling sad, or whatever it is. But then you have insight on people. I'm just using that as an example. There's all kinds of different ways that Spirit will show you. I can't explain to you how Spirit works with me and communicates. I just got another message. Okay, so this is the next. You guys, I don't know who this is going to be for. I'll have to ask. But this helps everyone. We can connect with ones that are not in our physical presence, loved ones, friends, all of humanity. I use my energy when the fires are going. I send my energy out into the animal kingdom. I know people will listen to this. Some people would think, she's nuts, right? No, I'm not. I energetically communicate with animals. I energetically communicate with this planet. I can bring a plant back from death and make it grow just by talking to it and loving it and giving it my attention. You can kill a plant by talking to it. It's been a scientific experiment. Kids have done it in school. Try it. You won't abuse this. And you know what? Don't abuse this, because some people can telepathically communicate. Some people are able to remote view. And the government employs people to do that. And other people know that you have a gift. And they could say, hey, if you could find out where, because I watched that in my dreams. Somebody knew where the safe was, somebody knew where the jewels were, somebody knew where, and they used that in order to steal from people. Don't abuse your gifts like that. At 1 hour and 4 minutes, we go to Earth signs. There we all are in this planet, all the different colors. Look at the different colors of people. I'm looking at the alien species, right? The blues. And there's the grays. And then I'm looking at Native American. And I'm looking at, you know, the red skin, right? And I'm looking at, I don't know, South American, and then black, and whatever. This is us. This is the world. This is all of us. This is Earth. We are all part of this Earth. So now we're going to go to the Shapeshifters. Correct for neutrality on all levels. This is going to be a long reading today, but whatever. It's worth it, right? Fiona and the Unicorn. The gift of sacred sight. Here we go. This again is in the message about having these gifts. Having the ability to see. Both of them. They're partners. So, the unicorn's horn, it's right at your third eye. That's your divine energy. A lot of messages come directly to our third eye. And at this time, very much so. So you're going to be getting messages from Spirit. Your ability to work with your clairvoyant capabilities is heightened right now. It's growing, it's opening. Sometimes it scares people. I've had a lot of people that are freaked out by the gifts that they have because you might see things, you might hear things. I hear sentences, I see things sometimes, right? And some people, when they're awakening, they might think they're going crazy. How do you know those things? I don't know, I just do. Some people see auras. I don't see auras around people, but I have friends that do. Some people see spirit beings. I literally have seen them myself with my own eyes in the daylight. I see fairies in the daylight in Sedona. I watched them. I saw them. And so these two, these partners, they both have the same gifts. Spirit's telling you right now, open up your eyes. Because there are things that you probably are seeing that you've kind of blurred out. You might have put kind of a shield over that. I saw something yesterday. Who was it? My friend posted a picture on Facebook. Oh, I think it was Karen. Let me show you this. And she said, it was of a tree. And she said, reaching out to the sky. And I have to tell you, it is. It's what you call, it's like when in Sedona, and when I'm in the forest, I call them, you know, the watchers, or the elementals, right? When I was going through West Fork Trail in Sedona during that thunderstorm, and everyone was running, and it was pretty gnarly actually. Trees were on fire. But I saw all around me. I saw the Native American warriors. I could see them in the rocks. They are spirit energies. When you see this, I'm going to pull this up, and I want you to see, I think it's Karen, I hope it is. There's no way that this wasn't alive. First of all, it's a tree, and trees are living. But it was an energy, and it was amazing. And now we've all seen those pictures where people, you know, they superimpose over top of a cloud, and it's like, okay, you've doctored that. But this was literally a tree. Where is it? Come on, Karen. She posts as much as I do. It was amazing. But that's what I'm saying. You'll see things like that. Here it is. Oh, I saw it right away. It was just gorgeous. Reaching out to the sun. And it's even, it's amazing. It's so beautiful. The hands, the eye, the mouth is open, the nose, horn coming out of the third eye, the hair, and there's its tail. To me, it's a giant dragon. That's amazing. It's alive. It's spirit speaking to us. It's basically spirit speaking to us, letting you know. And it was reaching out for the full moon. What did she title it? The tree reaching for the moon. I just said, it's truly alive. How magical. It's incredible. I want to actually take a picture of that because I see things like that all the time. And it just lets you know. It's Spirit's way of letting you know that you're not by yourself. You are alone. You're not alone, ever. I see them in the rocks. I feel comforted. I feel safe wherever I go. Recognize that Spirit is there to help you. You may not see a human being standing there. You're seeing a spirit creature. You're seeing a representation of Spirit in front of you. And so you may have blinded yourself to this or not wanted to see it or not opened your eyes to the possibilities of Spirit speaking to you in different ways. This is how Spirit speaks to us. It's the way you feel connected to Mother Earth. The energy, it's just energy that takes shapes, right? Plants, buildings, rocks, trees, it's energy that takes shapes. And sometimes you're like, okay, why is that happening, right? That maybe it's scary to you. No, to me it's amazing. You might be woken up at night and you're not understanding why. You're seeing things, you're hearing things, or you're just there. Why? Downloads a lot of times. And so basically right now, if you're experiencing this kind of thing because you're awakening, there's more than what you've been shown. There's more than what the 3D world accepts. There's more. You are awakening. That's why you're listening to this reading. So right now, the energy of these two are with you to help you, guide you at this time. Right now, they want you to drink a lot of water. It's interesting. I keep picking up my water. Keep yourself hydrated because your third eye is opening and you need that. It's important. You'll find yourself dehydrated. Sometimes it gets to the place, and I've had this, and this is when I don't take care of myself and when I don't slow down, you become overwhelmed because you're seeing so much. It was like that for me a few weeks ago. I was saying, I can't go anywhere. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing things everywhere. I see everything. I'm being spoken to constantly 24/7, and it got overwhelming. We can have that happen. But you go through stages. I was just getting flooded by Spirit, right? So when that happens, you can say to Spirit, slow it down. It's funny because when I was asked if I was going to accept my work, I had this other psychic person came to me, and it was actually, she said, you're being asked if you will accept this work. And I said, yes. And she said to me, it's coming really fast for you. It'll come really, really fast, and it might become overwhelming. So if you want them to slow it down, all you need to do is ask them to slow it down. And I said, no, I want to know. So I never asked Spirit to slow it down, and it did become overwhelming for me. So now, a couple weeks ago, it got overwhelming. I couldn't. I said, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm emotionally, stressed out. I'm missing my twin. It's just too much for me right now. You need to give me a break. And so I was given a break, and Spirit's way of handling that was to say to me, look, girl, you need to sleep. You need to not work so much. We'll take care of you. We work as a team. So this is what Spirit's saying right now. If you need to understand what you're seeing, Spirit will show you what it means. Sometimes we see things, and sometimes, like Sandy writes to me about her dreams, and she gets confusing, and they're overwhelming sometimes. And I said, you know what? If you don't understand it, let it go. Spirit will bring it back to you when you need to know it. I've told you guys, I've had dreams. I just did a reading for someone the other day, and dreams that I had probably 2.5 years ago. I watched that happen 3 years ago. But now it finally fit. Now I understood. I was, connected to this one, who was connected to that one, who came to me and asked me, and that was their story. I had seen it. I didn't understand. It was confusing. I tried to fit all of it into my twin's life, and no doubt he was like, what are you doing? It's not even me. But I didn't know that. I didn't understand. So I've learned that. So now I can help you guys and help you understand that, sometimes stuff comes to us. We think it's to do with our life or someone that's close to us. It could cause confusion. It could cause anger, but it's not. So Spirit will help you as best they can to understand the images and the energies you're seeing and feeling so that you can understand what's actually going on. But you aren't supposed to give into fear. This isn't something that's supposed to hurt you. It's coming to you so that it's actually healing you, and it's to help you heal other people and work with other people. So crystals are very important at this time while the third eye is opening. Also by being outside, working with the animal energy and with the nature energy, that keeps you balanced and grounded. And that way, things are less traumatic when you're actually in nature. When you're in city and you're doing your 9 to 5 and you're hanging out with regular people doing their regular party lifestyle, whatever, just day-to-day stuff, it's difficult because you're in a different space. So you need to go. I used to say to my twin, where were you? He'd just disappear for like 3 weeks. And he'd say, I'm sorry, I was in the mountains meditating. That's what he was doing. He was balancing himself, right? He was processing. He understood about processing. I didn't understand. So we need to allow ourselves time to process. And there's going to be a lot of really amazing things, if you allow this to happen, that will come to you. Just keep yourself hydrated. Keep a record of your dreams, of the things that you see, of things that like I take pictures, right? When I see things, I record it with my camera. You might be able to use the things that you have and create your own things from them. Create your own pictures, your own gardens. When I was in Sedona, I carried in my backpack, I had a pencil crayons and a pencil and a pad of paper, like a little book, and I sat and I would see something, I would draw it. Something really cool, because sometimes even a picture doesn't get it. I don't know. But yeah, I would at least take pictures. I've got so many hundreds of pictures, it's ridiculous, thousands of pictures. But Spirit is telling you right now, this message is coming to you because you do have your second sight opening up, and it is a gift, and you are not to be afraid of it. You have been gifted this, and you should respect it. So, where are we? Crystal Oracle. Okay, correct neutrality on all levels. Oh, God. Okay, well, we got our last two cards. So let me ask who they're going to be for. They just flipped out. So now we have, who we have? Earth and we have air, right? So earth and air, earth and air. Correct for neutrality on all levels. And it's not just necessarily earth and air. All of these messages are for me. All of them. So please, you guys. Yes, your signs may have something specific for you, but all these rest, they're for all of us. Petrified wood. This is a perfect one for earthy people, right? I'm an earthy person. Petrified wood is a beautiful message. I love it. It's telling you that something that you have believed in for a very long time, something that you have had faith in, that other people may have laughed at, scoffed at, that you may have even let go of. It's talking about, this is wisdom that you have had. This wisdom, it came from Spirit. It came from intuition. It came from messages that you got. It came from your own soul, the belief of your heart. And from this, a magical transformation is going to happen. There's a series of events that are going to occur. It's not something that it's not like Spirit said, oh, this is going to happen in 3 weeks. This is not something that you were expecting to happen. An unexpected turn of events. Something changes. And that is because you never gave up. You believed in what you believed in. Just like that little dragonfly that sat on the top of that palm frond. You didn't give up on your dream. You knew that that was the truth for you. You held on to what your soul was holding on to. You embraced it. You held on. And the strength and commitment that you showed is now going to be blessed. Because what it is that you have believed in, trusted in, had faith in, it's going to happen. Or you're going to be given it. It's a reward. It's a reward for your faithfulness, for your commitment, for your truth, for your honesty. Gosh, that little hummingbird came flying. It was just a baby one. Super cute. So many times people give up on their dreams because of what other people say or because it took too long. That's why petrified wood, it's like standing the test of time. It turns to stone. It's never going to go away. It's there. Remember the angel, the snow angel that said, what do I have to do to prove to you that I'm your friend? I've been here. I'll stay here. I'm not leaving. I can count on you. You can count on me. I'm putting my hand out. I'm here. Right? That's what Spirit says to us. And that's what this situation is. You have been that. You have felt that. Whether this is a project, a dream, the belief in a love. And so many people maybe have thought you were a nut. You're crazy. That'll never happen. You'll never be able to do that. That's not logical. They could have discredited you. They could have laughed at you. They could have made fun of you. They could have talked shit on you. And all of a sudden, they're going to be like, oh, wow, that's a really good idea. Yeah, they're all of a sudden going to want to either be a part of your project or jump in or whatever it is. So the message is, it's possible to be firm in what you believe. And, yes, you can be compassionate to other people. Just like I said, you can agree to disagree, right? Well, I wouldn't do it. Or I would never wait that long, or I would never forgive that or put up with that. But, hell, if it works for you, that's the way you should say it, right? It's different strokes for different folks. And for you right now, something amazing is going to come to you because of that faith. I love that. That's beautiful. I love that message. I love that message. And I believe in that for myself, actually. So at 1 hour and 19 minutes, we go to air. my Gemini rising. And who are we working with? Who did we work with last? We worked with, okay, so we're going to the Oracle of Shadows and Light. Correct for neutrality on all levels. Correct for neutrality on all levels. What is the message that you have for the lighter bracelets? Correct for neutrality on all levels. Oop, that was it. Oops, 2. I picked up 2. 2 were stuck together. How interesting. 2 were stuck together, and look what they were. Marie Masquerade in the upright. So again, someone's going to try and come to you, offer you something that's not in your highest good. So here's emphasis and confirmation again. And you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to tell them to back off. This is somebody that has probably come to you before. They're a user. They probably ditched you. They are the kind that show up when it's party time. They may be around you because you've stopped giving them attention. And that's the only reason they're around you. They may, who knows why they're there. But your response is, I mean, this could be, your response is, no, sorry. I know who you are now. They may come and they're going to be charming and they're going to promise, oh no, it's going to be this way. And, say it's a relationship. No, you know that story. You know that person. You know how they've behaved to you. They know how they've treated you. I also have another message that there is somebody that is in a third-party situation. They want you, though. They want you on the side. They're going to tell you that they're getting out of that other situation, but they're not. They're not. I got the song right before we began, that song by Charlie Puth. I hear you've been asking all around, all about me. You've been going to all the parties because you knew I'd be at one. But you don't want me. You don't love me. You just want my attention. There are people that just want attention. They don't like the fact that you've stopped giving them attention. They are narcissistic. Or maybe they're in need of something and you were the one that had the money always. Maybe they got dumped by their last person and now you're going to come along and bail them out. They like to be pampered and taken care of. Maybe you were great sex, but they don't get you. They don't respect you. They don't have the same lifestyle or beliefs. They've made fun of that. They've lied to you. Whatever. Maybe it's an offer of a job, a company, whatever it is. You're like, I'm sailing my ship. I'm out of here. And your message is basically, don't be so nice. Spirit's telling you tell them to back off. I don't like you. I don't like the energy. I don't like the way you make me feel. You're not in my best interest. And the message is very harsh, actually. They don't want you to be nice to this person. They don't want you to be charming to this person. They want you to tell that person, no thanks. You may not even have to answer the phone or the text message. That person pushes your buttons. That person always says mean things. That person rubs you the wrong way. They don't align with you. So Spirit says, you know how you feel around them. You know that energy. Even if you can't prove what you know, you know. I know somebody that I've been shown got pregnant by someone else, but that person doesn't have the money to support them, but you do. They're going to say it's your baby, but it's not. I've got a few people I've watched that. It's disgusting. Happened to someone that I know really, really well. He was dating her. She was a little bit crazy. She was the prettiest girl in school, and that's why he kind of liked hanging out with her. He liked the attention. And he broke up with her because she was a nut. She dated his best friend. They went out once. One time. He got in trouble, went to jail, and she found out she was pregnant and came and told him that it was his. He believed it. He raised that child as his own, didn't know it was not his child until the child was 5. Because she wasn't going to get any money from the guy in jail. And she knew this was a decent person that would take care of them. It wasn't his child. I've watched this for someone else close to me. I just wonder if they know that. It's really sad because then you get attached to the child, right? You want what's best for the child, but it's not even your blood. It's not even your responsibility. It's that other person's. But here you're on the hook because you're the feed bag. So whatever's going on right now, it might also be that, you know what, you're doing well financially, or maybe you're popular now, or maybe you're in a place that somebody else wants to be, and they want to go there. They're opportunistic. And you're such a kind person that you want to help people, so you give. But Spirit says, stop doing that. You need to tell them, I don't want you here. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to send them negative energy, but you definitely put up a wall. And you are right about what you're picking up. You're right. Don't second guess yourself. You know not to get involved. Don't allow yourself to be emotionally bullied or guilted. You don't like them. And you can say it in a kind way at first, but you must be firm. You need to detach from whatever it is that's pushing your buttons, whatever it is that's draining your energy, whatever it is that's upsetting you, whatever it is that's not working for you. And yes, because you're such a decent person, you'll be respectful. But if they don't listen, then and they think, oh, you know, they don't really mean that, or I can work on them. No, you can't. There is no going in this direction, period. The end. Then you just get straight up, I'm not nice, and I want you to go away. And the message that you get from, where is it? Oh, did I shuffle it away? I'm such a neat freak. Oh, here it is. I picked it up again, so it's definitely the one. Jasper Red. I have that stone somewhere. So Jasper Red, the message about Jasper Red is that you may find yourself drawn into a situation. I kept getting this message again and again and again right before Lily came into my life, and right before Prince came into my life. I kept getting this message. And so here it is again, that you're going to find yourself drawn into a situation where you're going to want to care for and protect someone. This person needs help. It could be an animal, like I had 2 animals. And it isn't that this person is helpless and incapable. Now Lily started crying right then. Come on, little chicken. Come in. Come on, baby. It's not hot. Are you thirsty? So Lily needs water. So this person needs emotional support. It's emotional support that they might need. They're suffering from anxiety or depression, sadness. And the love and the attention that you give this one, it's also helping heal an aspect of yourself, a part of yourself that is longing for that nurturing and that loving energy. This is something that is healing a trauma that's happened to you, like literally a trauma from childhood, from early in another relationship, whatever it is. You are mutually healing one another. This exchange, it's a mutual exchange. That's what's so beautiful about it. That's why I say they're not helpless, because by sharing this energy, it's helping you. You are helping yourself. You don't have to figure out what's going on. And if you're like, well, what was the trauma that I suffered? I don't know. And it doesn't even matter. If you don't know, it doesn't matter. It could be a past life. All it is that we draw mirrors to each other. We draw people into our lives for a reason. And when we care for anything or anyone, plant, animal, human, we are nurturing an aspect of ourselves. This is about the healing power of love, of unconditional love. It's protection, it's nurture, it's care, it's sharing that energy, life force, like I've been doing with Lillian and my twin every night, right? So whatever it is, and I say thank you. I thank you for being there for this person, or a pet, or whatever it is, wild animal, or maybe you're just, it could be a wild animal. I've had friends that have sheltered wild animals. My friend found a baby raccoon that had, I don't know what happened to the mother, and he took in that baby raccoon. I mean, my God, I think about that one woman up in, I don't know where she was, but I think it was Northern California, and a cougar came in her patio and it spent the night behind her living room couch. It was exhausted. It was just looking for a quiet, safe place to be. First, it was exhausted for some reason and knew. She was an animal communicator. It knew to come to her. It's like Prince. He knew to come to me. He knew of all the places in Canyon Lake, he knew this was the place. And to my landlord, the same energy. He said to me that his two cats and Prince aren't getting along. He says, somebody's going to have to find a new home. And I said, really? Who's that going to be? And he says, well, it won't be Prince. And I said, and you're going to get rid of Bella or Daisy? And he says, no, I'm not going to get rid of anyone. He says, we're just going to have to. So, I mean, there are people like that, right? Loving energy that he dedicates an entire downstairs to this cat that won't get along with the other cats. I do the same thing. You are going to be compelled to do the same thing. And so that's another message. It may not matter what other people think. Other people may not agree with you. But you're doing this from your heart. So just know of this. I'm curious for myself. And I'm saying thank you for being so loving, unconditionally loving. All right, at 1 hour and 30 minutes, we're done. I'm going to go back out and paint my chair and have a smoothie. Love you guys.